for the support and love. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to, I would love you guys to jump onto my podcast on anchor.com, and it's called Don't Be Perfect, Be You. And it's all about basically what I try to talk about here, which is just really being authentic to ourselves. And for all of us that feel like that maybe life is kind of looking kind of not what they felt would be, and kind of confused and stuck, I think it helps out to kind of really get down to the real core of ourselves and be truly fulfilled. I think for me, I'm gonna ruffle a lot of feathers because I grew up with the mentality of having to acquire success and fame as part of my success. Like that was who I was. But chasing that and being in the midst of that and understanding that the money could be there, but you could still be unfulfilled, kind of made me just change up and really kind of dive deep into like more of the personal growth side and really find out what it is that kind of really just calls me and what is my calling here. And the more I kind of dig deep, as they call it, the more I dug, the more stuff I found and the more things I kind of were able to relate to. So excuse me, that being said, the podcast is there. There's my YouTube channel. I'm also on TikTok making some funny videos. I love to just express myself, and I think that's what we're all here for, to express ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think always keep an open mind because we are here to expand, and as I've seen, those that don't expand stay behind, as they say. So so my topic real quick today here is basically talking about how I've been noticing that my last couple of months, when you start really being authentic to yourself and actually, I guess, remembering who you are. I think we all know who we are, but we forget along the way. We kind of start derailing to different routes, thinking that is where we're going to be the most fulfilled, but we kind of find out that it's not that route. So the different routes that we take in life, we always come back to the reality of, to the real us. They always call it the core. You come back to where you came from, which is one of the Wayne Dyer's sentences in the book. He goes, you always return to where you came from. And meaning, I think meaning internally, your spirituality, your spirit self, of what it is you're here to do. And I think along the way, you gotta feel that you start kind of realizing that things start falling apart. Your outside success starts crumbling, and it kind of threatens your identity. And this comes from what I've been learning here, that we all have identities with certain things, right? We kind of identify ourselves if certain labels, I would say, like a certain career, a certain status, middle class, low class, high class, all these labels that we have, ethnicity, wherever your ethnic background is, right? All these kind of labels you can think about, we kind of identify with this, and I guess everything has its purpose and its time and its place, and that's fine. But to kind of be attached to it in the sense that if it goes away, you are non-existent, kind of scary, right? And I know for me, I have to learn that what I do for a living, my career, which was my past, was not who I was, and I did get attached to certain roles and certain career paths, and I did feel that when I was younger, I chased a path, and then I just didn't have fulfillment from it anymore. And when I lost it, I felt kind of out of place in this world. I felt kind of fell into that blame and judgment and revenge type of emotions, because I felt that that's who I was, not knowing that the universe is giving this to me as a gift. It is propelling me forward to the next phase, to the next chapter that I am ready for. I was watching today, Kyle Caesar says, you won't get what you can't handle. You won't get what's next for you. Like, you won't get it unless you're ready for it. So the fact that we lose certain things is because we're ready for the next phase, the next chapter, the next level. As you start leveling up your consciousness, I think you start realizing that the more we control certain things, or we try to control certain things, the less we actually own it. And it's like, I guess it's a paradox, right? So I know I am a control freak in the sense I want to control certain things. Like if I controlled my, especially my, for basic career path, if I did certain things a certain way, I know that I would get that result, and I would try to find out how to get there as soon as possible. But as you know, life sometimes you can do all the right things and still not get that result. You might not get that raise, that promotion. You might not get that partner, that person you're trying to, I would say you're trying to, fall in love with. So there's certain things that you might do the right way. You might Google it how to do certain things, how to. Sorry about that. You might Google certain things, how to get certain things done, and doesn't pan out. So I started really understanding that I can control certain things, but there's certain things that I cannot control. And most of the outside forces, the outside world, I cannot control. I cannot control how somebody views me. I cannot control how somebody sees me. I cannot control how somebody might want to come at me. I cannot control that. I can control is my reaction, my perception of this individual, my behavior towards the individuals, the circumstance, the careers, how I can see this as a betterment for myself. And when you start viewing things that way, I think you start actually seeing the open doors, opportunities, and it's also about actually believing in that as well. Because if you don't believe that that's true, you won't really see it. So I know for me, the last couple of months have been a very big transformation, and I can preach it all I want, but I think unless you go through it, you can actually understand how it is, how you feel, and how you can relate to others as well that have gone through it as well. And I think everybody has something to share. We all have experiences, and I think we can all kind of really take parts and bits and pieces from everybody's experience and relate to it, and also help and kind of aid each other in the sense that everything's gonna be okay. You're having a tough time right now in life. You're struggling. You have these thoughts. You're stuck. You're not moving forward. You don't know what the next path might lead. You don't know what next month looks like. You don't know what next year looks like. But I think that's like kind of the fun part of life. Although it sounds horrible, I know I'm gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, but that's a fun part. Like not knowing is fun. Obviously you want to do your due diligence and do your what you feel like you have to do, but like not knowing really what's gonna be happening in another couple of months, that maybe overnight you can go from from a certain type of status or certain type of level to another level, which has happened to a lot of individuals, especially now with technology and social media and all these things. People's lives can change in a week, so also being, keeping your head up, understanding that if everything's falling apart, is just, what's it's just a preparation, as they say, right? Or a delay for what really is who you really are here to do. And it's a layers that we're shedding. I know Kyle Caesar says that these are the layers that we're shedding, the stories that we're shedding that are falling off of us, so that we don't get attached to it. I know that it's super hard to like really, really grasp this, and it's kind of like a lot of terminology here, right? Sorry, but it's something that we all go through. We all go through these certain circumstances and certain situations that we feel that we lost control, and it sucks, and you feel like loss of purpose, loss of identity, as I said before. But at the same time, I think it is what we need, and like I always try to remind myself, if I'm going to a situation that I really felt that I didn't want, I always try to see how it might be what I need. It might be exactly what I need. It might be what the universe has given me for me to kind of learn something that I'm not learning, or for me to actually propel forward and actually step into the next level, which I'm already ready for. So if you kind of keep that open mind towards these type of situations, I think you start opening doors for yourself. You start realizing who you really are. You start tapping into parts of you have lost or you kind of forgot about, and creativity starts to flow. Like shit just starts to pop up, and you just want to make videos. You want to make things. You want to do not always videos, but you want to write a blog. You want to do these things. And funny thing is that I know for me, when I try to start this channel, I didn't know what I wanted to start with. Like I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I didn't know what I wanted to make videos about, but I know I wanted to do something about making a YouTube channel. So I know I started with like the gym workouts, and then I felt like it wasn't really what I didn't even like the videos. So